Welcome to the online lecture on biological significance of cholesterol. Myself, Dr. K. Sita Kumari, Associate Professor, Maharaja College of Pharmacy. In this topic, we will discuss about the concepts known as the significance of cholesterol and the conversion of cholesterol into bile acids, steroid hormones, and the vitamin D. First, we will go with the structure of cholesterol. The cholesterol, the structure, it has a basic nucleus known as the cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrene ring. It is known as the CPPP. Okay, the cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrene ring, it is acting as the parent structure. Okay, this is the structure of the cyclopentano. All these are about the cyclopentano. This is a 5-membered ring, and this is the phenanthrene nucleus it is having. Okay, this is known about the cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrene ring, which is acting as the parent structure of the cholesterol. Coming to the number of carbon atoms present in the cholesterol are about the totally 27 carbon atoms are present in the cholesterol. You can look at the structure with having the numbering. And one hydroxyl group is present at the third position. Let's see, this is at the third position, it is having the hydroxyl group. And a double bond is present between the fifth and the sixth carbon atom. This is the fifth carbon atom and this is the sixth. The double bond is present between the fifth and the sixth carbon atom. And a 8 carbon side chain. Okay, this is all about the side chain. Okay, this 8 carbon side chain. The 8 carbon side chain is present on the 17th carbon atom. Okay, the 17th carbon atom, cholesterol is having the 8 number of side chains. 8 carbon side chain of the side chain is present on the cholesterol at the 17th carbon atom. And the methyl side chains are present on the 2 carbon atoms which are at the placing at the 10th and the 13th carbon atom. See, this is the 10th and this is the 13th. 18 and 19 are the side chain methyl groups are present. Okay, this is regarding the structure of the cholesterol. Totally it is having 27 carbon atoms and one hydroxyl group is present at the third carbon, and a double bond is present between the fifth and the sixth carbon atom, and a side chain of 8 carbon atoms are present on the 17th carbon atom, and the 2 methyl groups are present at the 10th and the 13th carbon atom. This is regarding the structure of cholesterol. Next, we will go with the functions or the significance, we can say, of the cholesterol. Okay, we cannot say that the cholesterol is having the bad effects. Cholesterol is having certain significance in our body, the major significance. Before going to the significance, we will have certain idea that how much amount should be there in our body, or then what is the normal level of the cholesterol. The normal level of the cholesterol is about 150 to 200 mg per dl, deciliter. Okay, increases levels increases the risk for the atherosclerosis. Above the level of the 200 mg per dl, we can say it leads to the various diseases. We all well known regarding the various side effects or various diseases caused because of the hypercholesteremia. Okay, therefore we can say that the normal level of the cholesterol is about 150 to 200 mg per dl. And coming to the significance, that means what are the functions, what are the role of the cholesterol in our body is about the important component of cell membrane which affect the fluid state of the membrane. Okay, cholesterol is acting as a important component in the cell membrane. If you look at the structure or the figure on the left hand side, we can see the various functions of which we can say which is a component of the lipoprotein, which is a component of the cell membrane. The next function is about it is used to insulate the nerve fibers. Okay. Coming to the important compounds which are produced from the cholesterol or the degradation of cholesterol which can produces are about the bile acids, steroid hormones, and the vitamin D. Bile acids, which are 24 carbon atom, are derived from the cholesterol. And the steroid hormones, we all know that the glucocorticoids, androgens, and estrogens, etc., all are produced from the cholesterol. The steroid hormones, the precursor is only the cholesterol. And the vitamin D is also formed from the cholesterol by using the UV rays obtained from the sunlight. Okay, these are the various significance of the cholesterol. of which we can say this is an important component of the lipoprotein and the cholesterol, esters, and the membrane formation, and it can useful for synthesis of the various compounds like the bile salts, the bile acids, vitamin D, and the steroid hormones. Okay, out of all the significance, we will go into the next topic, that is about the degradation or the conversion of cholesterol into the various components, as we discussed that the bile acids, steroid hormones, and the vitamin D. Let's go into the topic, the degradation of cholesterol. Cholesterol undergo degradative reactions in humans with conversion of cholesterol to physiologically important products or the compounds like the bile acids and the bile salts, steroid hormones, and the vitamin D. We will go with the one by one. First, we will go with the bile acids, the formation of bile acids. The primary bile acids are cholic acid and chenodeoxycholic acid. All these two bile acids are synthesized in the liver only from the cholesterol by so many multiple steps. In the right hand side, we can show the various steps which are involved in the synthesis of the bile acids. We can see the precursor is about the cholesterol. The cholesterol, it undergoing 7-alpha hydroxylation, it can produces 7-alpha hydroxycholesterol. 7-alpha hydroxylation. Here that means alpha hydroxylation is taking place at the alpha site of the 7th carbon atom in presence of the enzyme known as the 7-alpha hydroxylase, during which the NADPH2 is converted into NADP plus oxygen, which is converted into the 7-hydroxycholesterol. So we can also say 7-alpha hydroxycholesterol. That means alpha hydroxyl group gets attached to the alpha carbon of the 7th carbon atom. Results in the conversion of the formation of the product known as the 7-alpha hydroxycholesterol. This 7-alpha hydroxycholesterol, upon undergoing several steps, results in the primary bile acids are about the cholic acid and chenodeoxycholic acid. These primary bile acids, by the combination of the glycine, taurine, both by the cholic acid and chenodeoxycholic acid, they forms glycocholic acid, taurocholic acid. Similarly, chenodeoxycholic acid, it forms a tauro or glycochenodeoxycholic acids. Whatever this glycocholic acid it formed in the intestinal bacteria, it can be converted into the deoxycholic acid. Okay, by if you look at the structures or the names of the compound, the represented with some star marks. The single star mark indicate these are the primary bile acids, where the 2 stars indicate this is about the secondary bile acid. That means we can say that glycocholic acid, taurocholic acid, and tauro or glycochenodeoxycholic acids are the primary bile acids, whereas the deoxycholic acid and lithocholic acids are the secondary bile acids. Like this, the formation of bile acids is taking place in the organelle known as the liver. Coming to the bile salts and their enterohepatic circulation. This is most important. Whatever the conjugated bile salts or the bile acids which were synthesized in the liver, they get accumulated. Okay, whatever the bile acids which were synthesized from the liver, if you look at the structure or the figure, if you look at on the right hand side, see this is the cholesterol. From the cholesterol, primary bile acids are synthesized 0.5 grams per day. Okay, the bile acids per day, 0.5 grams of bile acids were synthesized, the primary bile acids. Whatever the primary bile acids and the secondary bile acids, upon the combination with the glycine and the taurine, they can be converted into the primary and the secondary bile salts. Okay, that means the primary bile acids, primary and the secondary bile acids which are synthesized, they get converted into the primary and the secondary bile salts. Now, whatever the bile salts which are produced in the liver, they are synthesized in the liver, they get accumulated in the gallbladder. Whatever the bile salts which were synthesized by the liver from the bile acids, they get accumulated in the organ known as the gallbladder. From there, they secreted into the small intestine, where they serve as emulsifying agents for digestion and absorption of fat. Okay, we can say about what is the function of the bile salts. Okay, whatever the bile salts which were synthesized and accumulated in the gallbladder, they enter into the intestine. See, this is the blue line which is representing. They, through the bile duct, whatever the bile salts which were accumulated in the gallbladder, they enter into the intestine, the small intestine, through the bile duct. What for? It enters into the intestine for the emulsification of the fats. That is about the digestion and absorption of fats can be taking place in the small intestine only because of this bile salts. This is the role of the bile salts. A large portion of the bile salts are reabsorbed and returned to the liver through portal vein. Okay, whatever the bile salts now they are present in the small intestine. Okay, after their role of emulsification of fats, again they get reabsorbed. Okay, again they get reabsorbed into the liver. You can see this is the arrow which is representing the black colored line. The black colored line representing that whatever the bile salts after their role of emulsification of fats, it get reabsorbed into the liver. From the intestine, it comes into the liver through the portal vein. Thus, bile acids are recycled and reused several times in a day. This is known as the enterohepatic circulation. That means you can see this is a circulation. Okay, circulation is going on between where? From entero, that means between the colon and the small intestine, the hepatic, liver. From the liver, the bile salts enter into the intestine, and from the intestine, again, the bile salts get reabsorbed into the liver. Like that, the circulation is going on. The bile salts in the bile salts, their role of the emulsification. Like that, so many times the bile salts they play their role for the emulsification of the fats. This type of circulation is known as the enterohepatic circulation. And the fecal excretion of the bile salts is the only route for the excretion of the cholesterol from the body. Okay, this is regarding the enterohepatic circulation. You can see about fecal excretion of the primary and the secondary bile salts and the bile acids 0.5 gram per day it get excreted. Okay, this is regarding the enterohepatic circulation of the bile acids which were produced and the bile salts which were get accumulated in the gallbladder and they enter into the intestine and they play the role of emulsification of fats. If you can see the blue color line, that is about the bile duct through where the primary and the secondary bile salts enter into the hepatic circulation or the enterohepatic circulation for emulsification of fats. If there is any obstruction of the bile duct, it causes the accumulation of the bile salts in the gallbladder or in the liver. It leads to the condition known as the obstructive jaundice. Okay, that means the elevated levels of the bile salts is taking place. Okay, that is a different topic. Next, we will go with the another linkage of the topic is known as the cholelithiasis. What is meant by cholelithiasis? If you look at the structure, you can see that these are the stones or the crystal-like structures where they are present. What is this condition? This is the well-known condition, but we don't know the terminology of the cholelithiasis. We can see the bile salts and the phospholipids are responsible for keeping the cholesterol in the bile in the soluble state. Okay, again I will repeat the bile salts. Okay, bile salts as they are having in the previous slide as we discussed the enterohepatic circulation, they play the role of emulsification of fats. Apart from this, the role of the bile salts along with the phospholipids, they are responsible for keeping the cholesterol in the bile in the form of the soluble state. That means because of the presence of the bile salts in the phospholipids, the cholesterol is available, okay, or present in the bile in the form of soluble state. Suppose if there is any deficiency of the bile salts availability or the presence, then it leads to, that means then the cholesterol cannot be present in the soluble state. It can be converted into the crystallized form. That means it gets solidified. Due to the deficiency, what deficiency? Due to the deficiency of bile salts and phospholipids, it leads to the accumulation of cholesterol crystals in the gallbladder. Suppose if there is the deficiency of the bile salt, it leads to as the bile salt deficiency is there, then the cholesterol, it is not available, it is not present in the soluble state. It comes into it gets accumulated in the crystal form. Where they get crystallized? They get crystallized in the gallbladder. This condition is known as the cholelithiasis. You can see this is a structure of the gallbladder. In the gallbladder, see how much the cholesterol gets solidified into the crystallized form. Simple ga meeku kidney la raallu ani cheptuntaru, but it's not the condition. Not in the kidneys. That is about the crystals are formed in the gallbladder. Okay, patients with these conditions or response to the administration of the bile acids called the chenodeoxycholic acid known as the chenodiol. Okay, for these patients what we can suggest or prescribe the medicines means, if as the condition is occurs because of the deficiency of the bile salts, therefore if you give the bile salts, then again the crystallized form of the cholesterol, it can convert it into the stone, the crystals, we cannot say the stone, the crystals can be solid, it gets into the converted into the soluble state. Therefore we are giving the bile acids chenodeoxycholic acid, and the drug is known as the chenodiol. Suppose if the crystals are very bigger in size, and if they cannot be cannot get solubilized, then there is no option, then definitely we have to go for the surgical removal of the gallbladder is the only remedy. Okay, that's why in the serious conditions, if the crystals are more, then in that condition doctors will definitely suggest to go for the surgery of the removal of the gallbladder. Suppose if the crystals are in very minute in size, then they can be cured because of the taking the certain drugs which can makes the crystals into the solubilized form. Okay, this is the condition, well-known condition known as the cholelithiasis, which is related to the bile salts and the bile acids. Okay, this completed about the bile acids and the bile salts and how they get degraded, produced from the cholesterol, and what is their role if their deficiency leads to the what type of diseases they can occur. Okay, next coming about the synthesis of steroid hormones. Okay, steroid hormones, we simply they are known as the sterol. Okay, steroid solid alcohols. Cholesterol is a precursor for the synthesis of all the 5 classes of steroid hormones. Steroid hormones are majorly classified into 5 classes. They are glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, progesterones, androgens, and the estrogens. All these 5 classes of steroid hormones, they can be synthesized only by the precursor known as the cholesterol. If you look at the right hand side, the cholesterol, which is a 27 carbon atom, it can be converted into the various several stages. It can be converted into the 21 carbon compound known as the pregnenolone, and it can be converted into the progesterone, which is a very important precursor of many steroid hormone, which is also a steroid hormone. The progesterone, which is also a 21 carbon atom, similar to that of the pregnenolone. The progesterone, which is a 21 carbon compound, it is acting as a precursor for synthesis of certain other steroid hormones like cortisol, aldosterone, and estradiol, of which cortisol is also a 21 carbon atom and aldosterone is also a 21 carbon atom, and estradiol is a estradiol or estrogen. Okay, all these are the 18 carbon compounds. Okay, all these steroid hormones, they can be synthesized from the cholesterol, which is a 27 carbon compound. All the steroid hormones, the 5 classes of steroid hormones, they can be synthesized from the precursor known as the cholesterol. Next, coming about the important one is about the synthesis of vitamin D. Vitamin D, we all well known from the, if you are exposing to the sun rays of the UV rays can be obtained from the sunlight, definitely will get the vitamin D. But for the synthesis of vitamin D, the cholesterol is also required. If you can see, the cholesterol is converted into the 7-dehydrocholesterol, an intermediate of the biosynthetic pathway of the cholesterol. This intermediate compound of the 7-dehydrocholesterol, it can be converted into the cholecalciferol, which is the precursor for synthesis of vitamin D. Okay, it is converted into the cholecalciferol by ultraviolet rays in the skin. Okay, unless the availability of the ultraviolet rays, even though the cholesterol cannot synthesize the vitamin D, it can be synthesized only up to the cholecalciferol. The cholecalciferol can be converted into the vitamin D. For the requirement, compulsory, it requires the ultraviolet rays in the skin. Okay, therefore try to expose to the sun rays before the 6 o'clock in the morning and after the 6 o'clock in the evening to get the vitamin D, or else it leads to the various osteoporosis. All these are the various effects which occurs due to the deficiency of the vitamin D. Okay, this is regarding the synthesis of vitamin D. These are the concepts which I covered regarding the biological significance of the cholesterol and various compounds. It can be synthesized. Just I will recollect the concepts. The cholesterol, which is a 27 carbon compound, it is having the hydroxyl group at the 3rd carbon and a double bond between the 5th and the 6th carbon atom, and it is having the 8 carbon side chain present on the 17th carbon atom, and the 2 methyl groups are present at the 18th and the 19th carbon atom. The basic nucleus of cholesterol is about the cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrene ring. Okay, it is having the 5-membered pentane ring, and this is about the phenanthrene nucleus or the phenanthrene ring. This is all is about the cyclopentanoperhydrophenanthrene ring. This is the parent structure or the parent nucleus or the basic nucleus of the cholesterol. Coming to the significance of the cholesterol, this is having the various significant roles like the component of cell membrane, insulin, the nerve fibers, and the synthesis of the bile acids, steroid hormones, and the vitamin D can be takes place. Coming to the conversion of the cholesterol into the various important compounds like the bile acids and the bile salts and the steroid hormones and the vitamin D. If you look at the first one is about the formation of bile acids and the bile salts. The bile acids which are synthesized about the cholic acid and the chenodeoxycholic acid, the primary bile acids are produced. Upon combination with the glycine and the taurine, it can be converted into the deoxycholic acid, taurocholic acid, lithocholic acid, which are the secondary bile acids. Whatever the bile acids, which are all these synthesis of the bile acids and the bile salts can be takes place in the liver. After the synthesis of the bile acids can be converted into the primary and the secondary bile salts. After the conversion of the synthesis of the bile salts, they get accumulated in the gallbladder. Whenever there is a need for, when you are taking the fatty diet, then immediately emulsification, the digestion or absorption of fat is required. Therefore, the bile salts present in the gallbladder enter into the small intestine through the bile duct, and it plays a role of the digestion and absorption of the fats. After its role, again it enters into the or come back reabsorbed into the liver through the portal vein. Like this, the circulation of the bile salts can be taking place, and this is known about the enterohepatic circulation. If there is any obstruction in the passes from the bile salts from the liver to the small intestine, in that means if there is any obstruction in the bile duct to pass the bile salts, then there is an accumulation of bile salts is taking place in the liver. It leads to the condition, the well-known condition known as the jaundice. And another condition we can discuss is about the cholelithiasis. The bile salts and the phospholipid, they play an important role, that is about the making the cholesterol is in the bile salts available in the soluble state. If the deficiency is there with the bile salts and the phospholipids, then the cholesterol get converted into the crystallized form. Therefore, if the crystallized form is more, it gets crystallized in the gallbladder. If you can look at the structure. This condition is known as the cholelithiasis. If the crystals are very, very minute in size, it can be treated with the drugs, or if the crystals, the number and the quantity is more, then definitely we have to go with the surgical removal of the gallbladder. Next compound is about the synthesis of the steroid hormones. The major 5 classes of steroid hormones like the glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, progesterones, androgens and the estrogens, all these are the 5 classes. They can be synthesized from the compound known as the cholesterol. Coming to the vitamin D, an intermediate compound in the biosynthetic pathway of cholesterol, that is about the 7-dehydrocholesterol. It can converted into the cholecalciferol, and cholecalciferol useful for synthesis of the vitamin D. For the synthesis of vitamin D, ultraviolet rays from the sunlight are compulsory. Okay. This is regarding the significance of cholesterol and the conversion of the cholesterol into the various compounds.